Hello, good morning, and welcome to this taste challenge here in the mid-morning. Well, I was looking at my schedule, and I just got to double up. I got to double up because of upcoming days. So you have to fiddle with the schedule if you're going to do 365 taste challenges in 365 days. Just got to do it. All right. Another rye whiskey taste challenge. We have from 1810, Old Overholt, born in Pennsylvania but made in Kentucky. See, he's frowning now because he's started thinking about it. He's like, look at him making my whiskey in Kentucky. I'm angry about it. Old Overholt, straight rye whiskey. This is the new red cap. It is aged 3 years. It is 86 proof. It is non-chill filtered. It says, this rye is non-chill filtered, which gives the whiskey a richer, fuller flavor. In cold temperatures, the whiskey may appear cloudy or have visible particles, which is both normal and natural. Well, it's certainly not cold here. It's going to be 81 degrees today. It was 80 yesterday. In 1810, Abraham Overholt began distilling rye whiskey in western Pennsylvania, and rye has been our focus ever since. Our focus, like it's a real company still. I love how these companies do that. Old Overholt is one of the oldest cornerstones of American rye whiskey. Bottled by that's Abraham Overholt and Company, Frankfort and Claremont, Kentucky. Right. Anytime you see Frankfort and Claremont, you know it's Jim Beam. You know it's Beam Sorry. Beam Sorry. Okay. Beams. I haven't even started tasting yet. Beam Suntory. And you notice, man, I don't like this sediment on the top. What is this? It's like some kind of film. Some kind of film. Hold on a second. Hold on, Walmart. What are y'all doing? Now, don't you feel a whole lot better? What's that? I said, don't you feel a whole lot better? All right. Say what? All right. You know it's that Jim Beam bottle anyway. Look at it. Same shape bottle as Kessler. Same shape bottle as Old Crow. Same shape bottle as some of those rums that I be precluding. Endeavor to persevere. Now we move on and on till the break of dawn. Well, we're not going that long. This is the Distiller's Select, as opposed to the other ones that don't exist. The Distiller's Select, Woodford Reserve, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, 45.2% alcohol. That's 90.4 proof. So we got 86 proof versus 90.4. Oh, Bazam, proprietary batch. They're the proprietors. They own it, as opposed to all the other batches they own that they don't own. You know, some of these labels are funny, but whatever. Okay. Versailles, Kentucky. Oh, where they signed the Treaty of Versailles. Y'all ought to go to Versailles, Kentucky and tour the Palace of Versailles. See the Hall of Mirrors. Some of y'all going to be up there like, where's the palace? I was kidding, because the palace be in Paris, outside of Paris. All right, so this bottle, see, this is the one I already broke open. These are 375s. You want to hear a story? Yes, you do? Okay. People said, no, I didn't say it. All right. I just checked on Total Wine and More's website, $29.49. A regular size bottle of Woodford Reserve is $29.49. And you know what? So, Total Wine is about the cheapest you're going to find. I bet at Walmart it's $1 more. Okay. Now, chase to the cut. You know what these two bottles costed me? $6.99 a bottle. I'm not joking. I'm not lying. I'm not playing games. $6.99 a bottle. So that adds up to $13.98. So Total Wine has a $29.49, $29.49. I paid $13.98, $13.98. I paid $15.98 for the old Overholt. So the old Overholt, the cheaper product, costed me $2 more than the more expensive one. Oh, the magic of Savannah discount. The magic of Savannah discount. What will they pull next? What will they do next? There was no way on earth I was passing that deal up. And I bet you know what my friend David did. Oh, he went crazy. He was like, what? $6.99 about. He even went back. He told me, I went back. I said, for what? I bought more. I said, oh yeah. Crazy place. But don't go there. Don't shop there, because you're gonna you don't want to shop there, because you're gonna keep going back. All right. Real cork too, not the little pressed particle board cork, where it's like little chips glued together. Some viewer pointed that out to me. I was like, you're right. This is a solid piece of cork. Now you go over there, Woodford Reserve, with your unopened bottle. Just think of all the fun I'm going to have with that, all the excitement. Now, that's the downside of beer. You say, oh, no, and here he goes attacking beer. I'm not attacking beer. If you want to get techno, I'm about to drink some throughout this day. But not to excess. I've already got it planned out. At 9:30 for Stout Sunday, I'm going to drink the first Guinness Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels, 10.3% alcohol. After lunch, a second beer around 1 o'clock. At 3 p.m., a third beer, and around 5 to close it out, a fourth. You might find that excessive. I find that minimal. You say, what about yesterday? Saturday night's all right for fight and all of that. You know what I drank yesterday? 4 beers the whole day, 12-ounce servings. 8 a.m. No, I'm gonna take that back. Might have been 7:30, because I was doing I was trying to get stuff done, and I was doing a review. Then I drank a 24-ounce can at 1:15, so that counts for 2. That was the Raging Eagle. We'll deal with that later. And then after I got back from Mass, 4 o'clock Mass at St. Hubert Church up the river, then I drank the Tonya, the last of the Tonya. Was it great? No. Was it enjoyable? Yes, I like Tonya. My friend David wasn't too thrilled. I say, oh, well, at least you tried it. Now, if that sounds excessive to you, you probably work for the government, because their advice is like, drink 1 beer a day if you're a man, and 1 beer maybe if you're a woman. And it's like 2 glasses of wine a week, and eat 1 French fry and a half a hamburger, and 3 pieces of macaroni. It's like, well, if you followed their guidelines, you would die. Except that they subsidize massive, consumption of food. So they'll tell you don't eat anything and starve to death, but then they've subsidized people eating incredible amounts of processed food, and then you go to Walmart and see waddling colossi. And you think, wow, this person's like 32 years old. Ain't no way they're getting to 42. And if they do, it's going to be a grim situation. Incredible bad health. And so I don't feel bad about it. You know what? Feeling bad about it? I don't feel bad about it. Matthew Wallace says, wow, $6.99. That's almost 75% off. Unbelievable. I'm telling you right now. Ask Robert, the whiskey scout. He said, if I lived out here, I'd be broke. Because he went to international market and was shocked, stunned, and couldn't believe it. And I said, I told you. I said, but it's about it. I said, this is just an appetizer. It's going to get way worse. We went to Discount Depot. Well, he wasn't too impressed with that. But I am always using. But I'm looking for different things, you see. Then we went to Savannah Discount, and then he was just like, his world was rocked. It was incredible. All right. And I live close to it. Well, if you want to call 40 something miles close, you know what I'm saying? It's closer than Kansas to Louisiana, though. It takes me about an hour to get there because you got to cross the Mississippi River, and there's only a few bridges. And then once you cross the river, you got to go around to where the highway starts, Louisiana 45, and then you got to go down the highway. And there's always a lot of traffic over there. So if you're in a rush, don't even go to Savannah Discount because you're going to get nervous and aggravated. And at least pay attention to what you're doing so you don't smash one of your bottles like I did on accident last week. I was so irritated by that. It's my own fault. I had to go buy another bottle. Luckily, it was inexpensive. Oh, well. Wasn't the first time. The worst, I think, was when I had that Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. I was at Mathern's. I paid $10.99 for that bottle, and it was snowing, like the first heavy snow we had here since 1973. So I was like, look at all this snow. It's cold, and there's snow on the ground. And I'm gonna make a video reviewing it and on the porch, and then I'll show the snow, and everybody's gonna like that. But it made my hands real dry, so I didn't have good traction on my hands. So I lift up the bottle to show it. Here's Bourbon County, and it slipped out my hand and went down onto the concrete and smashed. And I've never seen glass, so many shards of glass. I said, look at this here. $10.99 down the drain. That's putting without the tax. See, so I had to, it's like $11 down, $12 down the drain. And I didn't even get to taste it, but it was disgusting. So of course I went back the next day and bought some more, but that video is still posted. John and Neely said, man, I felt bad for you because that was like one of the penultimate beers and you smashed it. So last week, all I smashed was Montezuma Gold. And the good thing is all the glass pretty much stayed in the bag. But it did cut up the Montezuma Silver, like sliced up the label and stuff. Didn't break it. So I came home and I kind of like took crayons and marker and kind of like patched up the damage where you can't really notice it. Because I don't want people thinking I got old bottles that look bad. But I mean, it was a new bottle. It just got damaged in a car wreck. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. A bottle wreck. Well, I'll say one thing. That tequila smelled good. Just didn't really exactly want it poured on the floor of the truck. But it certainly justified me getting rubber floor mats. No carpet. I said, I do not want another vehicle with carpet. No way. I hate carpet in the vehicle. You track dirt all in it. It's filthy. You can't keep it clean. The rubber mats, I can just wipe them down. Vinyl, you know. And then it all drained out the door. I was like, somebody was telling me, it's got a drain hole. I used to wash cars. I said, well, if it has a drain hole, it was convenient. But it did smell good. At least I got to smell it. But I went and bought a new bottle the same day at Mathern's on the way home. Same price. So, but anyway, you say I didn't really turn on to this video to listen to a story about you smashing a bottle of cheap tequila. Okay, point taken. But still, yeah, you're right. That price for this was so low. I'm still flabbergasted paying $15.98 for a bottle of Woodford Reserve Rye. And that is no kidding. Take my cap off. See, I say a cap. Take off my cap. But I know people from like Chicago area and they say my cap. I say cap. That's like 2 syllables. You're saying cap. And they say, don't tell me how to speak, you Southern person. I say, okay. Yankee. And then they'll say things like, I'm going to the parade. Are you coming with? I'll say, coming with what? Coming with an ice chest? Coming with money? Coming with enthusiasm? They mean, am I coming with them to the parade? I said, I never heard anybody speak like that. I'm going to the parade. Are you coming with? So that's strange. But of course, people around here speak strange too. But I never heard that expression, I'm taking a drink, until I started watching YouTube videos. In my whole life, over 5 decades, I never heard anyone say, now I'm going to take another drink of this beer. Because no one, and I mean no one in Louisiana says that. They always say, well, I'm going to take another sip. Let me take another sip. But to take another drink, that's just like a foreign language. No one says that. This smells so spicy. It smells so rye. I love rye whiskey. If you gave me a choice, you got a choice. Drink rye whiskey the rest of your life or bourbon. Decide now. There wouldn't be any kind of decision. I'd say rye, rye, rye. And to bourbon, I would say bye, bye, bye. Sounds harsh, but it's the truth. You say, well, you're stupid. I like bourbon more. No, it's a personal preference thing. Get that? It's like telling somebody, oh, well, what would you rather eat? Collard greens or mustard greens? And if they say, well, collard greens, and you say, you're stupid. Everybody knows mustard greens are better. Well, no, everybody doesn't know that. So don't impute personal preference as a standard of quality of a person. You understand? And we see this a lot in the beer, wine, and liquor world, right? Yep. This smells mild and mellow too. So which is which so far? I really don't know. Now, I've heard it said, you heard what I said? I've heard it said. I don't have any definitive evidence, so I don't list it. But people say that it's 51% rye, the bare minimum, Old Overholt. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If you can give me some definitive information, I'll include it. Now, what about this? How do I know Woodford Reserve is 53% rye? Well, it says it on the website. I would assume they're giving me good information. It's the company. That's what we call a primary source. Primary source, not a secondary source. You know, it's not a heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend that it's this amount of rye. No, we know definitively. Okay. Is there a big difference in aroma? Honestly, no, which is a little troubling. I mean, in the context of trying to tell them apart, it's not troubling in the real world context. So I think this is going to be a tough challenge. All right, let's go with the taste. You know which one I was going to do, y'all? You want to see? Anybody want to see what I was going to do today? Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay, taste. I could do that one Tuesday morning. I wanted to do Brown-Forman products together, though. You know, do that company, then do the next company. I don't feel comfortable jumping company to company. You know why? Because a lot of these companies have a house style. Brown-Forman does. You ever notice all their products taste like leather? Don't call me crazy. If I'm crazy, go try me out. You say, go get Jack Daniel's Black Label, old number 7. Go get Jack Daniel's Green Label, the number 7. Go get this Woodford Reserve, Rye. Get the regular Woodford Reserve. I got a bottle over there. And if you want to be even more adventurous, get the Corbel Brandy, California Brandy, still from Woodford Reserve. Test them out. I bet you they're all going to taste like leather. What is the common variable that does that? I don't know. Don't know. But it's there. And this tastes like a Brown-Forman product. It's like comic books, you know, you can always tell, well, that's a Marvel comic book and that's a DC comic book because they have like a house. Well, they used to. I don't know about it anymore so much, but they used to just have a house art style. I mean, you could glance, you say, that's DC, you know, you just know. In Marvel, you just know. Of course, when you read it, you know for sure because they even had different writing styles. Like they'd never, a DC comic book story never read like a Marvel comic book story. Just didn't read the same. Unless it was Jack Kirby writing it. Oh, Lord. All right. Uh-oh. Well, hey, remember when I said that Jim Beam also tastes like Brown-Forman? You said, no, I don't remember that. I know because I never said it, but this kind of tastes like the Woodford Reserve. And you know why? Because it tastes strong. I could taste the proof, the 90 proof. Hey, I'm wrong sometimes in these taste challenges. I don't really mind because it's a challenge. That's the whole point of it. Or as some people might say, that's the whole point. Oh. Oh, that's strong. I don't know how people drink those barrel-proof whiskeys. I think I should die if I drank those. People say, I'm drinking barrel-proof, 137 proof, baby. Ooh. I'm like, well, ooh to you, because I'm not drinking it. I'm not going to say they have a bad taste. It's just too strong. I drank that old Granddad 114. I said, ugh. My friend David bought it. I said, ugh. He said, how you rate it? I said, an A. He said, why you went, ugh? I said, it's disgusting, you know, but it's an A. It's most excellent. It's a quality product, no doubt. It's probably the best one they make. But it's too strong. If I drank that thing, I would take tap water and have some kind of machine and dilute it to 80 proof and drink it. Which would defeat the purpose of buying it, since I could just buy 81 proof old Granddad. No, 80 proof old Granddad. I'm thinking of Wild Turkey. All right. Okay, I'm like a politician now. I gotta walk it back. They always do it, so why can't I? And you vote for these people, see? Why should I feel bad? You vote for these people that walk everything back. You say, well, you told us in 1996 you opposed that. Oh, well, my position has evolved. Yeah, it evolved, all right. So that's what's happening here. My perception is evolving. Yeah, this is the old Overholt, no doubt about it. Now, flavor-wise, well, they both peppery, but that one's more concentrated rye spice because it's a higher percentage, but not by much. But you know what's making it taste stronger? It's the 90 proof, and this is only 86. You say, well, that's 43 versus 45 and 0.4, because it's actually 90.4 proof, 90.42. But it is higher, and you can perceive it. You can pick it up. You can pick it up. Okay, next question. Which one tastes better? Oh. Still tastes like leather, though, even though it's a Beam Suntory. It's good. Tastes like a peppermint. You say a peppermint, he's going mad. I'm like Colonel Kurtz, you know. After my first tour, things started to slip. Seems that LBJ and Westmoreland didn't dig my report. But we must be merciful for those who lie, those nabobs. All right. Hey, you ever wanted to drink whiskey tastes like candy? These do. They taste like candy. They taste like sugary corn candy with with minty spiciness. But you never had no candy like this. Okay. I want candy. I'm gonna call Bow Wow and tell him come. All right. Well, it's hard to say, but I think I'm not so like totally confident, but I think maybe the Woodford Reserve is a little bit better. It's not way better though. It's not way better. It's a little bit better. And in my case, I only paid $15.98 for the whole thing, for the whole shebang, as they like to say. $15.98, craziness. Not $15.98, $13.98. $13.98. I paid $15.98 for the old Overholt. I'm shocking myself when I remember the price. $13.98 for old Overholt. I mean, getting discombobulated. $13.98 for Woodford Reserve Rye. Crazy, huh? True though. True story. It's a true story. But let's assume that the price was normal for both. Well, then it's still a little bit better, but it's not way better. So which one should you buy? I mean, of course, I would buy both, but if you see the Woodford Reserve for $29.49, is it worth it? Yeah, it's the normal price, $29.49, something like that. Yeah, buy it. You'll like it. If you see it for $13.98, you'd be crazy not to buy. You'd be crazy not to buy it. Oh, did I let you know that you'd be crazy not to buy it? Old Overholt, yeah, $15.98 at Walmart. It's pretty that's like the normal price. I think it's the same at Total Wine. You know, you don't need to be running around here, there, and everywhere like the Beatles trying to look for to save 50 cents. Just buy it because that's now. If you see it for $20, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I'd wait. I'd be like Michael Corleone. I'm gonna wait because chances are you will see it for cheaper. Okay, so now let's reveal. This is the Woodford Reserve, we hope. Ha ha, ha ha, I never questioned my expertise. Or my luck. But I don't think it was luck this time. I really think it was knowing it. I think it was knowing it. Okay, comments. Ooh, look at all these comments. Got people watching. Yukon Jack, that's a flavored Canadian whiskey. I'm familiar with it, and I know where to buy it, but I've never had it. I've never had it. Good morning, Ron. I am a big fan of both of these. They make good Irish coffee, says Zach Robinson. Oh, see, that's a new thing for me. I've never had an Irish coffee. Drinking Evan Williams Green with Miller Lite. It says Randy Bridges. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not going to read that other comment at this particular time. We better sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, if you catch my drift. Okay, not to say I disagree necessarily with certain things that I see on the internet, but no use cutting off your nose to spite your face, you know what I mean? Okay, what is the best gin vodka whiskey? The best, oh, you mean the best gin, the best vodka? I don't know. How would I know? Because I've never had the best gin, I don't think. I've never had that. I'm not even a vodka person. I wouldn't know the best vodka from the cheapest one. If you gave me the most expensive vodka in the world and gave me the cheapest one, I'd probably think they taste the same. That's sad, I know, but best whiskey, I couldn't say. I know the best whiskey I've ever had is obviously the Johnny Walker Blue Label. And I know why. Well, that'd be the best. I paid $226 plus tax. But when you taste it on its own, it's not that great. It's like, okay, you know, it's still a 95 out of 100, but a lot of, things would be 95 out of 100 and you're not $226. So when you try it on your own, on its own, it's like, well, I got ripped off. This thing ain't worth it. But when I put the Johnny Walker Blue Label in taste challenges, it never lost, ever. Never lost. It destroys all the other scotches, and I can't explain why. But you be tasting them, and you're like, this one is clearly way better. It's like it's not even close. Like you cannot get them confused. So if you drink Johnny Walker Blue Label on its own in isolation, you're going to think you got ripped off, and maybe you did. I mean, $242 for a bottle of whiskey, that's going a little far. But when I put it in taste challenges, it's like a football team. You're like, they ain't that great. But then you watch every game. The first game, they won 55-10. The second game, 63-0. Third game, 77-0. Fourth game, they had a little trouble, so they only won 42-10. Fifth game, 51-3. And it's like, there's something in this that makes it better. So I got to stand by that. You loved Apocalypse Now. Justin says he loved Apocalypse Now. And you know why, Justin? Because there's a conflict in every human heart between good and evil, and good does not always triumph. Sometimes the dark side wins out over what Lincoln called the better angels in our nature. Every man has a breaking point. You and I have one. Colonel Kurtz has reached his and has very obviously gone insane. I'd say Yukon Jack is much better than Jack Daniels as a reference point. Well, I can't agree or disagree with that because I've never had Yukon Jack, so I can't say, well, I would use Yukon Jack perhaps as a flavored whiskey baseline, but I couldn't use it as a standard whiskey baseline by virtue of being flavored. It's more of a liqueur. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not even criticizing it because there's a whole world of that, and they're wildly popular. When I see the Crown Royal Peach come into a store, it sells out in 2 days. Over a weekend, it's gone. It's gone. Crown Royal Apple, gone. So to sit there and put down on flavored whiskey would be a fool's endeavor. You wouldn't accomplish anything because who cares if people like it, then they like it. Well, I like both of these, but I never tried a rye whiskey yet that I didn't like. In fact, I've never tried a rye whiskey I didn't love. Right? I think it's 100 proof also. Oh, you see, now you got to remember now there's different Yukon Jacks. It's not all just Yukon Jack. All right. It's like Jack Daniels. There's a whole lineup. All right. So keep that in mind. There's not just one. It's a whole lineup. It's like Woodford Reserve. There's a whole long portfolio that you could get caught up in and spend a lot of time with it. You wouldn't have to go branch out and try other things. You could just be stuck in Woodford Reserve. Make a lot of videos. Rye whiskeys, God saying that he loves us. Certainly that's part of it. Well, it's the third Sunday in Lent. It is the third Sunday in Lent. So that's something to think about. And my father asked me today, he said, you going to mass? I said, well, I went yesterday afternoon. He said, oh, okay. All right. Now, well, nobody asked me, but I'll show you anyway. Here's Sazerac Rise, straight rye whiskey. 90 proof from our friends at Sazerac, which is right down the road from me. Their warehouse. Man, if you saw this warehouse, you'd be stunned. But I don't think this has been around so long. It's only been on the market for like 17 years. Distilled, aged, and bottled for Sazerac of New Orleans by Buffalo Trace of Frankfort, Kentucky. Yeah, Buffalo Trace makes this for Sazerac. But guess who owns Buffalo Trace? Think about that. They make some of this in New Orleans too, because at the brewery at Sazerac in New Orleans on Canal Street, in the corner of Magazine Street, they distill this. They produce it, but not enough to to handle the market. They just produce enough for like kind of tours and They say they want to expand their distilling down here, but most of it is made in Kentucky. And in fact, they send it back to Kentucky to age it. But it is produced. We watched them produce. You know, Buffalo Trace is amazing. Yeah, it's great. Cheers, Ron. Endeavor to persevere. Okay, now Sazerac Rye. Oh, man. That's a long neck, huh? You could use that as a club. Well, this is coming up Tuesday, God willing, and I don't know how much you got to pay for it, but it's probably about $30. But you wouldn't believe what we can get it for in Louisiana. You would not believe, but it's a true story. It's a true story. It's a true story. It's a true story. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's not the only one they make. They make a super deluxe one called, I don't know, it's like 6-year age and it's like 100 proof, something like that. But you can never find it. This is called Baby Saz. The real big boy Saz, can't get it. I've never seen it, but I know it exists. Sazerac makes Yukon Jack, by the way. Oh, that's one of the ones they bought from Diageo, huh? I thought it was. They bought a lot of stuff from Diageo about 4 years ago. Three years ago, they bought Seagram's VO, Seagram's 83, Seagram's VO Gold. Well, that's being discontinued, but Yukon Gold, okay. Oh yeah, all kind of stuff. Yeah, yep. Okay, that's what Sazerac does. He just buy other people's stuff constantly, all the time. So this is a great taste challenge, and I did get it correct, and I'm very happy because that's 2-0, 2 wins, no losses. So Tuesday morning, we plan to go with Old Overholt versus Sazerac, and I think, I don't know this. I think the Sazerac's going to win, but as they say, time will tell. And then the next taste challenge is going to be Old Overholt versus what's that rye whiskey I have? Oh, how could I forget? Dickel Rye. Dickel Rye. That's why I saved it for last, because it's Indiana rye. You say Indiana. What does Indiana know about rye whiskey? In fact, a whole lot about it. That's what they know. A whole lot. People don't know Indiana's got a rich distilling history. And beer, also beer brewing history. But definitely whiskey and other liquor. Indiana. Yep. Okay, thanks for watching this video production. The win goes to Old Overholt. But in my case, it goes to the Woodford Reserve. But I got it for like $12 discounted or more. But that's not a normal situation. Thanks for watching this video production.